all of us have this image of Shammi Kapoor, right? That he's this boisterous singing and, this Yahoo Shammi Kapoor.
He hated all that.
He hated that image.
He hated it. He built when we would meet in the night at my cousin's home staircase, and she had her boyfriend up on the roof, and he was even afraid to hold my hand. I was fine with holding hands with him. I mean, he was just treating me like some precious, I don't know what, you cannot touch sort of thing. But lots of poetic words and building up life ahead. And if he said, I am doing this because my producers are making me money. They're making money. And I'm the only one who this role seems to be fitting. So I have to do it for the audiences. And I'm signed one after the other, and all roles like this.
And he had this...
So I romanced the heroines.
Thousands of women falling for him,
right,
and acting opposite this gorgeous looking women. And here he is pouring his heart out to you, asking you to marry him, and you dump him.
I went with a broken heart. I didn't. I guess what? Second was the day we were to marry, right? On the 2nd of this thing. And at the 25th, I'm introduced to Bina Ramani. I say, no, okay, one more time, meet him alone. But his parents say. And that kind of, it was the weirdest thing, which no other girl would, I don't know what it was. I always used to feel punished when I wanted to do things and parents would say no. It was understood that I couldn't have my way because I was a second generation child. They had grandchildren when I was born. I couldn't think like the rest of the family. So I nurtured my dreams quietly. Many rejections I got from things I wanted to do, be an architect, be a beautician, be whatever. Anything I'd ask would say, don't even think about it, marriage, whatever.
And I think I'm going to let people read the book to see the most, I think one of the most unromantic proposals of all times was when he proposed to you, Andy proposed to you.
He had a girlfriend in San Francisco, and he had come to attend his younger brother's wedding. So he tells me, you've come with wealth and grown up with luxury and all. I don't know any of that. I cannot offer. I'm just an Air India manager. 3 states of America and a small section, California and whatever, Nevada, etc. And I own nothing. It's a company flat. There's a car. There's a TV. I own the TV and the bookshelf, books.
And you said yes to that.
I began to feel so sorry. I don't know
I'm sorry,
what's
I'm
stupid
laughing,
of
but
me.
I just find it incredible that somebody would not marry a Shammi Kapoor and marry...
I didn't dare allow myself to think that it could happen.
He says, you write here, he says, the flamboyant and boisterous lover boy with... because that's what my audience wants from me over and over again.
Yes, he used to say
He
that.
sighed in resignation. I really dislike that person. I'm completely the opposite in real life, but unfortunately, nobody gets to see that side of me. I love Western classical music. I read books on philosophy and history. I read biographies. Do you think my audience would believe that about me?
Yes,
Is that why he sought a relationship with you? Because he could be him?
Yes, he could be him, and I would absorb, I would embrace that. Yes, totally.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, how will I ever get past my parents? I can't even ask such a question. All my simple questions have been rejected. I used to think I'm not destined. But it was dream times when I would hear all these things. And on the phone, the long chats on the phone.
So before Andy comes in, there's also David of Faridkot who proposes to you.
There's Onkar of Apollo Tires.
Apollo Tires, right? Now these are all perfect matches.
Yeah, I know they were, but then I didn't like them. No, I didn't like Bina Ramani either, but him that night of this, it was like a feeling sorry for someone, so should I rescue? It was, I think of it later, what the hell was I thinking?
So here's a film actor, then there is a royalty, somebody from a royal family, Faridkot royal family, and there is an industrialist. And these are all highly successful. See, the reason I'm bringing this out is if anybody thinks that Bina Ramani is a gold digger, he's not.
Oh, no, now I'll tell you the other reason why.
Because that is what was said about you in those horrible media trials. That you wanted that life and you chased that life.
I reject my family is so angry with me most of the time because they're ready to help me, but they want me to be, I have a variety of ways of living, a lap of luxury with fancy cars. I grew up at age 21, I had a Mercedes car, and I would be embarrassed to go around in it because I never wanted. There was too much wealth. I was growing up in London. London was still rising from the Second World War, etc.
There was also the Bina tone.
The Bina tone, all
Please
of that.
tell
I
me
was
about
embarrassed. People would talk about Bina tone. I never wanted to be. I am not that.
Your name was on a product.
Yes, I like to see the fruit of my hard work. I don't want to be lavished with other people's wealth. And I just cannot. Yes, when I was in hospital for the 4 months and Medanta, I knew that it was going to be very difficult. I didn't have insurance and it was going to cost a packet. But before I could even think of it, they had already signed directly, my family, to spare no cost, etc. So I just walked away. But these kind of things they're constantly doing, because if I knew, then I would try and fight it. I just don't like taking. They know that. That's what. And he was the only one. I tell you, Farid Kot was telling me about his 67 cars, and you'll have a different sari for each car to match, etc. And Onkar also kind of wanted to measure his wealth. I couldn't. And then Shammi was. Shammi was. I really loved him, and I love him more after seeing that when he did marry, after all, he did go into simplicity. He did quit
religion. He found a guru and
spiritual path on which he invited me, and I joined them one time, and I met that Guruji. And I was in my difficult years of marriage. I went through very difficult times. Divorce and all of that took a long time. I was reading autobiography of Yogi 3-4 times, and a lot of other spiritual books of which he was aware. So we realized that we both. I was the one to blame, nothing to do with me. So we did have a chance to talk about it. I always, when I became stronger and independent, I think one of the reasons why I married Andy, deep down inside, I could smell independence, freedom. I craved freedom. And he was living in San Francisco. He looked like a very independent type. No man talks like that unless he's a modern thinker or whatever. I don't know what it was. I felt I will find myself. I've been cramped all my life. Here I'll be able to find who I really am. With Shammi Kapoor, yes, he was larger than life. I loved the idea. I was brought up to be a wife, and I knew I would be a wonderful wife, etc. But anyhow. But I did. I tell you, from Andy Ramani, I learned who I am. I had to go through a lot of hardships. At $3,000 was his salary, and between the rent, and we had no money, and we had to live within a budget. And I never complained. It was fine. I found discount places to buy things that would see us through the month and all of that.
But you were deeply unhappy in that marriage.
Yes, I was. I had some happy times. I have 2 lovely daughters. There were some happy times, and we made friends of our generation and others, couples we had.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा।
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है।
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब।
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप।
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI, it does not lie.